Good evening, welcome to Ben TV. My name is Steve Pereira and we're in the middle of Paran on a rainy winter Melbourne evening. We're here because we're anticipating an invasion of the nudies. It's a special event in Paran, which is a combination of nudism and science fiction. Hi Brian, are you in fact one of the two poobahs behind this?
Good evening and welcome to the Invasion Day.
Thank you. Who's invading and why?
The nudies.
What's the message you want to send out? What are you saying to people?
Tonight is really just about us letting our hair down and having a bit of a dance and a bit of fun in an environment that is safe.
How often do you have these events?
Sporadically. We don't like to have them too close together because we like nudies events to be individualised and a little bit unique and different to the other naturist nudist events that are held here in Melbourne. So we've held trivia nights, pirate party, laser tag, and this is just another event to add to our eclectic collection.
Now, most often people associate the naturalist movement with being outdoors, the sunshine, doing healthy outdoorsy stuff. But this is an alternative to
This
that.
is a point of difference with nudies, is that we are forward-thinking and trying to come up with things that are unique to the nudist community. Swim nights are very popular, beach days are a given because as naturists we do enjoy the outdoors, but also we are young, fun, vibrant community and we'd also like to get together for a little bit of a dance. If you speak to some of the people who attend these events regularly, to us, it is normalised. There's no sort of... The added novelty to this evening is the theme of sci-fi and dressing up. That's the novelty to us, because getting naked is what we do regularly.
But you would acknowledge there's a bit of an erotic quality to this, the act of dressing up and being...
No, Steve, I would not acknowledge that. No, sorry.
You wouldn't acknowledge that?
I wouldn't acknowledge it if we were off camera or if we were on camera. Tonight is just about us having a dance, just like any people would do if they were clothed or if they were having a dress-up party. This is a safe space tonight. It's not a sexualised event.
It's not sexual.
In fact, it's a non-sexual event. This is the start of the evening, and as the group expands, the great thing is that you do get to see all ethnicities, all age types, and all body shapes. And that's one of the great things about these events, is that it relaxes you to make you more comfortable in your own skin, because you are, to me you are unique, Steve, but in the grand scheme of things, we're all human beings, we all have bodies, and there's absolutely nothing for you to be ashamed of.
We're at Invasion of the Nudies with Ben TV, and we're here with Jodie, who's got a very special job. She's a makeup artist who's helping people put on their costumes at a nude costume party.
Well, sometimes a bit of body paint, is the costume, so...
So is this one of your more unusual gigs?
Definitely, yeah. I do a lot of mainstream theatres.
With the body paint that you've got so far, is there a theme emerging, or is people looking for something specific, or...?
Yeah, well, there's a talk of a bit of wall paint and obviously the space theme, so a bit of... and glitter. Everybody loves a bit of glitter, so, yeah, no, it's very casual tonight.
Are there no-go zones as to what you will paint and not paint?
Not really. I'm very adventurous, so that's fine with me.
Come on in.
Anything people feel comfortable with, really.
Cool.
Yeah.
And are you here for the party as well?
I am here for the party too, yeah. No.
And what do you hope to... What's your achievement for the evening? Do you have a goal for the evening, or do you have any...
Meet new people, have a good time, have a good dance.
Chill?
Yeah, chill. Yeah. Exactly.
That's cool.
Have a drink.
So with me, what sort of body paint would you recommend?
Well, some bright colours, because you're wearing all black pretty much. So
I know, it matches mine.
Bit of glitter, some bright colours. What would I do with the cameraman? Maybe a bit of wall paint, actually.
We're at Nudie Evasion with Beck and Helena. Why are you here? What's the event?
This is Nudies Revolution sci-fi party.
Which is a bit of a contradiction to have a costume party for nudists.
We actually call it an undressed up party. So it's as dress up or down as much as you're comfortable.
That's great. Why the sci-fi theme?
It gives people an opportunity to express their geekiness and their inner, what books they read, or to say a little bit about themselves without having to say anything.
Yeah, because I love to be naked. And my background is actually in sexuality. I'm a sexuality coach. So this is very much ties up with my message to the world that nudity is healthy, it's beautiful, it's natural, whereas we usually see it as something sexual and something, maybe a little bit shameful and not to really go there, not to explore. But why not? This is biology. This is what we are, and we should enjoy that.
So would this be something you'd recommend your clients would come to if they're feeling repressed or uptight about their sexuality or their bodies or nudity?
I'd say definitely try this kind of events. It's a very safe space as well, so there is nothing to worry about. You can do whatever you want. You can be, you can be just yourself, knowing that you're safe.
What advice would you give to somebody like me now? I'm quite used to being nude. I go to nude beaches all the time. I've been on stage nude. I've been photographed nude for art shows.
Beautiful.
But somehow, when I come into a space like this, I feel really uncomfortable being naked.
To see yourself as a divine, beautiful, perfect expression of who you are. And I mean it. Like, we are all perfect. We are so beautiful, and we look at ourselves and we go, oh, I should more like this, and the magazines look like that, and these models are so and so, and this is just all fake.
But I don't fit the general standard of beauty. I'm a size 14 to 16, give or take, depending on what clothing size. I don't have a big bosom. I have a big bum. I have fat rolls, and I have wrinkles, and I have plenty of beautiful, beautiful tiger stripes or cellulite and stuff. And I'm okay with how I am. And so I don't fit a standard body image that is portrayed in the media, and I'm happy to speak out and say that it's okay to love who you are.
Exactly. And everybody is different.
Every single
Absolutely.
person
And we're meant to be
is
different.
We're meant to be different.
Yeah, and that's what makes us beautiful.
The most sexy thing that a person can be or have is confidence.
Absolutely.
Being confident. It's, oh my God, when I see someone who is confident in themselves, regardless of what they look like and whether they fit the standards, such standard or other standards, when I see them going, yeah, I'm gorgeous and I own it, and I don't care what you think, but because I love this.
That's fantastic.
Oh my God, that is so sexy.
So as a sexuality coach, bringing people to an event like this that is a safe, non-sexual space, where do you sit on that line? What advice would you give to people to sexualize yourself, to understand your sexuality without crossing the line or infringing on other people's?
Okay, yeah. Well, consent is a huge aspect of that. So you've got to be consent with others and with yourself. So whatever you do, you have to be comfortable with that. So the degree to which you sexualize yourself and your body is fine, as long as you've also got consent from others. So obviously you don't want to be, touching people without their consent in any sort of sexual erotic way. You've got to have consent. But as long as that consent is there, and we're talking about two consenting adults, go for it. Express your sexuality, allow yourself to be erotic, allow yourself to be sexual, allow yourself to enjoy your body. It's meant to be touched. It's meant to feel pleasure. We have nerve endings all over that just scream
people say
for pleasure and enjoyment of
our
touch.
skin is our biggest sexual organ. So.
Absolutely.
Yes. And at nudist events in general, the rule is if you wouldn't do it as a reasonable person clothed out in the street, don't do it at a nudist event. So,
That's a
obviously
really
putting your
good
hand
rule.
around somebody's waist when you're talking to them, if they are consenting to that kind of touch, or, sitting next to them and holding their hand, or, even kissing on the cheek, it's something you would do, a reasonable person would do in public, down the street, and so it's perfectly reasonable to do it in this environment.
But also the other question then about normal behaviour. Now, if I've met you on the street, I've seen you on the street, and while we're both clothed, I now see you in an environment such as this, where I see all of you.
Yeah.
I do want to look at all of you.
And you should.
And I should. So
our bodies are meant to be looked at, but obviously if you're focusing on somebody's, sexual parts like their breasts or their, am I allowed to say the rest of the
You
words?
can say everything you want.
If somebody's, clearly focusing their concentration on your breasts or on your penis or on your vagina and it makes you uncomfortable, then that person is quite clearly outstepping the boundaries of consent. That kind of behaviour is quite unreasonable at a beach. If you were at a normal beach with your bathers on and somebody was perving on you and it was quite obvious and ostentatious, you wouldn't enjoy it. And so you just need to keep that in mind when you're behaving around nude people.
Exactly.
Is that whatever would make you uncomfortable would probably make them uncomfortable too.
We're at Invasion of the Nudies with Ben TV, and I'm sucking my gut in because currently I'm here with Jeffrey, one of the chief boobahs of this event, and in whose fabulous office space we are in. This is actually the server room for the office that's decorated like a French little powder room. Jeffrey, how amazing.
Oh, thank you. I figured why should a server room just be a boring grey cupboard that everyone forgets about, so...
This is amazing. This is your office space, which is an advertising agency that we will not name.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
you're a
we
well-known
shouldn't,
personality,
yes.
people will join the dots. How come we're having a nudie event in an office space, an advertising firm?
I just have very sort of modern, sort of well-adjusted bosses who sort of think this is no big deal as long as we don't, plaster the company name all over it and
So
building that suits it.
Does it put them on the edge? Are they on the knife edge?
Oh, well, when they have to drop in over the weekend, as they've had to, they all nervously message me before because they think we're all naked the whole time while we're building the party. So I have to say, no, everyone isn't naked, you can come in. So they all stay well away. Look, they love it because my boss says to me, well, it's a great deal. I loan the office out to a bunch of gay men, and when I get it back, it's cleaner than it ever was. So...
What's Nudism for you? What does it do? Is there a purpose, or is it
like
just...
everyone else, I like that freedom and the liberation of it, the way it sort of gets you, just lets you be more relaxed about yourself, all of us. We're very self-critical, and I think it's a liberating thing to sort of go to these events and just see, I'm sure you're hearing this from everyone, but to see all the assortment of everyone, to see how different they are.
There's also a bit of I belong to a little exclusive private club as well, element to it as well.
Look, I suppose there is. Nudists are a bit of a club of their own, but they're a very welcoming, sort of gentle kind of type of person in the main, I find nudists. I've worked in a lot of community sort of sectors, I suppose you'd say, and I find nudists, they're very appreciative because, of course, nude events are not usually like our events, so they're usually quite astonished at the sort of stuff we put on for them.
Fascinating idea, the idea of a costume party for nudists.
Well, because there are a lot of nude events that happen, but they're generally, we call ourselves, I won't diss them, but we call ourselves high concept nudism. So we do like highly finished events or strange things that you might not otherwise do. Like laser tag or like being in a penthouse or having a science fiction dress-up party. So we don't do a regular nude get-together. I think the younger people, and we tend to have a younger crowd than most nude groups. No, I think they're more into it in a sort of sense of being free. It's not, our events and nudist events in general are not highly sexualised in the way that a warehouse party is. It's not that they're not a bit frisky, and of course they are. Everyone's naked and drinking and whatever, but there's not a lot of drinking by the standards of most events. So it has a different vibe. It has a much more, like I say, a softer, less demanding, more accepting vibe. As you'll see out there, it's a very, very mixed crowd. It's difficult, in some ways, because with music, we've got to deal with people from 18 to 85. And not many clubs or parties have to deal with that breadth. It's quite a complex thing to do to keep everyone happy.
I'm Steve Pereira, yet again at Invasion of the Nudies in this wintry evening in Paran in Melbourne, where I'm with a very mysterious, a very attractive and very naked stranger. Sir, who are you?
Oh, good evening. My name is Lawrence.
What's the costume?
Good question. To be honest,
You got a bow tie, a gas mask, and a shield.
and a shield and lovely socks.
And lovely socks.
Yes. To be honest, it was a last-minute decision. At a nudist party, you want to do something a bit different, and wear a lot of body paint. That's
That
a
is
good
it.
tip. Yeah.
That's a good... So that was one of the things about having a costume party for nudists,
Yes.
is if you don't want to go the clothing route, paint is a good option.
Paint accessories,
Yep.
wigs, gas masks, weird socks, whatever you can think of and come up with. I'm one of the organisers of the Nudies Revolution, and we wanted to invade Melbourne with our nudity.
And why do you want to invade Melbourne with your nudity?
I think Melbourne is the nudist capital of Australia, and we wanted to do some really crazy out there stuff.
I'm Brian. Since New Year's, I've been hanging out with these lovely nudist people and having the best time of my life. It's been so much fun. I've made new friends, had awesome fun. It's been
So hang
great.
on, you said since New Year, so this
Yes.
is a new thing for you.
Relatively, yes.
And how did you get into it?
End up at a party and New Year's party actually, and met different people, introduced, come to different parties, and I'm here, loving it. It's awesome.
Asking you as one of the organisers, looking at the range of people out there, and there's quite a few people out there, what's the common interest? Is it nudism? Is it naturalism? What is it?
Good question. I think some of us are regulars, been doing it for a while.
Yep.
Some of it, like Ryan, just has joined on and falling in love with the concept. Others, it's the first time tonight. And they just wanted to say, hey, let's just try something different and push our boundaries and learn what is it like to be naked in front of others.
So one of the guys you were talking to earlier talked about high concept naturalism. So you're taking it beyond, you're pushing the boundaries a bit.
Yeah.
So it's no longer just the hikes and the nude beaches and the picnics,
Yeah.
but it's actually urban. You're engaging in an urban space, in an urban activity.
Yes, well, one of the concepts I love about these events is no phone, so people actually go and socialise. They chat to each other and meet new people, make new friends. How often do we go to a bar or club and everyone's on the phone, and then actually go up to a complete stranger and goes, hi, my name's Lawrence, I love your costume tonight.
Even tonight, I've met a lady that's been 3 months pregnant a while ago. She's had a baby 3 months ago. She's here, first time out of the house, away from the baby. She's having an awesome time.
So what other activities would you engage in?
So far, I've done laser tag, garden party, and hopefully in summer we're going to do a night nudies run, maybe. We'll see how that goes.
So this is going to become a lifestyle choice for you?
Definitely is. Always slightly was, but never knew where to embrace it. These guys have been great.
So what's next for you?
Good question. We're always looking at new, interesting ideas, working as a community and seeing what stuff we can come up with, something different and something interesting.
So let me ask you a question. If the world changed and all of a sudden it became quite all right and quite regular to be nude all the time, would you still be a nudist?
Yes. I'll probably be the first one stripping off once that announcement was made.
What about you?
Definitely.
So it's not just about living on the edge, it's not just about being different, it's about
yourself, feeling comfortable with who you are, being okay with your body and with your mind as well, because how many of us criticise ourselves? And our inner critic just constantly makes us feel bad. And he's going, you know what? I'm okay. I am who I am, and there's nothing bad about it.
I have to say that is working on me, because since I came in, I have started discarding clothing. I'm getting to be a convert. But thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you for
Enjoy
having
your
us.
party, and what a fabulous event. All the best with it.
Come along, have a great time. It'll be the best ever.
What about you, Lawrence? What's the message you want to send out?
Don't be scared, just try it. You got nothing to lose. Everyone's here to support you and welcome you.
Thank you very much. Again, we're at Invasion of the Nudies. I'm Steve Pereira, and I'm getting braver by the second. Thank you.